have uncovered what appear to be hidden tunnels similar to the descriptions of the biblical account of Noah's Ark.
What if a legendary vessel from ancient texts was more than myth? High in eastern Turkey, a strange formation has evolved from local legend into a global mystery, one some believe could be Noah's Ark. But this isn't a typical dig. Beneath the surface, researchers report unusual heat, radiation, and even traces of unknown DNA. As they push deeper, sealed chambers and unidentifiable remains begin to surface, turning curiosity into fear. Is this a lost chapter of history, or something far more unsettling waiting to be uncovered? Discovery of the Durupanar structure. High in the rugged mountains of eastern Turkey lies a geological anomaly that has fascinated explorers and scholars for decades. Known as the Durupanar structure, this formation looks like just a natural mountain slope at first glance. But when aerial images first revealed its outline, many were struck by its uncanny resemblance to a massive ship. Its shape matches closely with descriptions of Noah's Ark, sparking decades of debate about whether this could be the resting place of the ancient vessel mentioned in biblical texts. In 2021, a team of Turkish archaeologists officially began investigating the site, initially with the simple goal of understanding whether this was just an extraordinary natural feature or something more. Early excavations were cautious and methodical, yielding soil samples that contained traces of marine materials. These findings were unexpected, given the high altitude of the site, and suggested that water, and possibly floodwaters, had once covered the area. The presence of these marine elements deepened the mystery surrounding Durupanar's origins. The terrain and atmosphere around the site contributed to a growing sense of unease among the team. As work progressed slowly, more speculation about the Ark began to surface. The biblical flood story is widely regarded by modern science as myth or legend, with many experts arguing that a simultaneous global flood is virtually impossible. Yet, such flood myths are common across cultures worldwide, and locations like Durupanar have remained on the fringe of scientific curiosity because of their striking appearance. Despite the skepticism, the team approached their work with scientific rigor. Their challenge was to separate natural coincidence from evidence that could point to an ancient human-made structure. Questions swirled about how a wooden boat, hundreds of cubits long and built thousands of years ago, could survive time and geological pressure in this region. The tension between expectation and scientific doubt set the stage for what would become a far more startling investigation. Some archaeologists leaned toward natural explanations involving unusual rock formations known as periglacial polygons or erosional features. However, others could not ignore the alignment of the formation's dimensions with those described in the Bible. The reported measurements, about 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high, captured the attention of engineers and historians alike. This mixture of myth, geometry, and geology made Durupanar a truly unique case. Public fascination followed the team closely, as the story hearkened to one of mankind's oldest legends. Local lore had been whispering about the Ark for generations, sometimes met with ridicule, but often with awe. Now, with official excavation underway, the world watched with bated breath. As the team prepared to use more advanced technologies to look beneath the surface, expectations soared, but so did the tension. The lingering question for everyone involved was, what exactly lay beneath this mountain slope? Was it the ruins of a vessel that could rewrite history, or an elaborate natural coincidence that fooled the human eye? The initial findings opened the doorway to a mystery that challenged conventional wisdom. What was about to be revealed would reach far beyond archaeology into the realm of the inexplicable. This profound uncertainty set the stage for the discoveries made with technology that could reach beyond what any excavation tools could uncover, leading to revelations that stunned the entire team and dramatically changed the course of their mission. Ground-penetrating radar revelations. The turning point in the Durupanar investigation came with the introduction of ground-penetrating radar, or GPR. This technology uses radar pulses to image what lies beneath the surface without disturbing the ground. The team expected to find natural rock layers or debris, but the initial scans brought a profound silence to the field lab. The images displayed a large hollow structure beneath the mountain, not the solid, irregular rock they anticipated. The radar showed a shape that displayed impressive organizational structure. The data showed clear vessel-like structures, which included an empty section between them. The system operated as a complex network of interconnected tunnels. The scanned measurements matched the biblical account of Noah's Ark with high precision, which brought fresh scientific evidence to ancient inquiries. The myth, which people had previously rejected, suddenly transformed into something real that existed in their immediate environment. The team recognized the importance of the accomplishment. Some members immediately recalled the scriptural passage in Genesis 6:15, wherein the ark is described as 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. The radar scans matched these dimensions with extraordinary accuracy. The situation created both excitement and fear, because people wanted to understand how this structure existed, while they questioned its identity as an Ark relic that survived through geological time. People showed both doubt and interest in the situation. Scientists demonstrated that wooden ships cannot last for more than 1,000 years when buried underground. Wood that experiences moisture and pressure over an extended period will completely disintegrate. The team investigated whether they observed either a natural structure, a geological deception, or an extraordinary phenomenon. The GPR data provided better accuracy than the pattern recognition errors, which archaeologists warned about because human minds create visual expectations. Engineers who studied the radar signals found that the signals maintained an even and consistent distance between their points, which created an effect that differed from natural rock patterns. The precise symmetrical design created additional complex elements, which proved that designers achieved advanced construction techniques through planned design. The team conducted multiple scan tests, which included different angles and depth measurements to detect any potential scan errors. The patterns maintained their same appearance through all three tests. The monitors showed interior corridors and beam-like structures, which created passageway designs that matched those found in created marine vessels. The arrangement of these particular features proved that they appeared according to a natural geological pattern, which showed random distribution. The data established deep new knowledge that overturned previous understandings of ancient engineering and historical events. Did this represent the first myth of humanity, which took physical shape, or did it exist as something completely different? The radar results created a deep scientific disturbance because the team discovered hidden knowledge that should not be uncovered. As the discoveries unfolded, the team prepared to go beyond scanning, driven by a need to explore what lay beyond surface impressions, leading them down an increasingly unsettling path toward uncovering hidden secrets sealed deep within the structure. Signs of advanced construction. The radar data required additional examination because it provided information which showed that this site contained an extraordinary buried shipwreck. The interior features showed complete symmetrical design, which created evenly distributed corridors and beams that differed from all natural rock patterns. The structure reached such advanced organization that it needed either a design plan or a building blueprint, which geologic processes would not create. A senior engineer who studied the system patterns said, "This can't be random. This is design." The team experienced an immediate shift in their work atmosphere when he made his announcement. The site began to reveal unusual characteristics that even naturalists found difficult to explain. The architectural elements revealed through these elements indicated that builders created a specific design that utilized construction methods not found in ancient times. The radar signals indicated that metal reinforcement materials had been used throughout the building design. The reflections showed a metallic quality that differed from both stone and wood materials, thus showing the presence of metal structural components or fastening systems. The assigned time period for the Ark's supposed origin extended from the late Bronze Age to earlier times, which made it impossible for the site to show this level of metallurgical proficiency. Experts recognize that modern engineering methods enable shipbuilders to use metal reinforcements for wooden vessels. The discovery of such advanced technology at a site that dates back 4,000 years demolished the existing archaeological dating system. The structure presented evidence of advanced ancient engineering, which extended beyond established historical facts, thus creating further mystery about its construction. Moreover, the structural layout indicated that the ship may have been designed not only to survive a catastrophic flood, more complex purposes in mind. The uniform, grid-like arrangements suggested calculated planning for containment or compartmentalization within the vessel. The team found themselves confronting a puzzle that challenged the boundary between myth and reality, forcing a reckoning with ideas thought to belong only to ancient scripture and legend. This discovery was no longer simply archaeological. It was a confrontation with an enigma spanning history, engineering, and faith. As they pressed onward, the team's growing tensions hinted at darker revelations just waiting beneath the surface, waiting to shatter previous assumptions and challenge everything understood about the past. Beneath these patterns of advanced construction, the team's instruments began revealing unexpected signs of life and energy, compelling them to investigate more deeply into the mysterious sealed chambers ahead. Thermal and radiation anomalies. As the team delved deeper into the structure, their instruments began picking up signals that defied all logical explanation. During high-powered scans, a particular chamber surfaced that was sealed off from the rest of the site. What drew immediate attention was a faint but persistent heat signature emanating from roughly 8 feet below the surface inside this compartment. The presence of stable heat in something supposedly buried for thousands of years startled everyone. Such warmth from an ancient, sealed space challenged everything they thought they knew about heat dissipation over time. Skeptics initially suspected a malfunction or interference, but repeated thermal imaging confirmed the same bright spot, consistent in size and intensity. The team realized this was no ambient or natural residual heat. It was steady and localized, as if something within actively generated warmth. This discovery sent ripples of unease through the group, blending scientific curiosity with a creeping sense of dread. The mystery deepened when radar reflections from inside the same chamber began showing irregular patterns. Some signals produced echoes, characteristic of metal rather than stone or wood. Such metallic signatures suggested reinforcing beams or structures within the chamber, metallic elements inexplicably embedded in what was thought to be a colossal wooden vessel from a prehistoric era. This notion ran counter to known Bronze Age capabilities, raising difficult questions about the origins and technology behind this creation. Further analysis showed a regular grid-like pattern of beams inside the structure, spaced too perfectly to be natural. This sharp precision resembled modern engineering rather than ancient craft, causing even some hardened engineers to reassess their assumptions. If the Ark had indeed been built this way, it implied levels of sophistication unexpected for the time, hinting at lost technologies or knowledge. Alongside heat and metallic clues, the team's radiation detectors suddenly registered elevated levels as the probe breached the sealed chamber. Radiation, in an ancient buried wooden space, did not fit any known natural phenomena. The levels fluctuated rhythmically, as if synchronized with some unseen internal process. This pulsating radiation added a layer of complexity that unsettled even the most rational minds on site. Additionally, pressure sensors revealed that the air within the sealed compartment exhibited regular expansions and contractions. The steady pattern of fluctuations suggested that something inside was alive, or at the very least mechanically active. No natural geological or environmental process adequately explained this rhythmic breathing of the chamber, amplifying the mystery and heightening tensions within the team. Samples taken from the chamber walls were coated with a thick, tar-like substance, reminiscent of the biblical pitch described as the sealing material for Noah's Ark. Microscopic examination of this pitch unveiled crystal formations with unusual ordering, seemingly intentional rather than random mineral deposits. The presence of these structured crystals suggested a deliberate chemical composition, possibly designed as a protective or containment layer. As layers of technological and natural oddities piled up, the investigators confronted a chilling possibility. This was not merely an archaeological site, but a sealed, engineered structure designed to hold something dangerous or valuable. Bone discoveries and DNA mystery. The exploration soon shifted from environmental anomalies to something far more tangible and alarming: bones scattered within a narrow, dark tunnel connected to the sealed chamber. Using a remote camera, the team carefully illuminated this confined space, only to find skeletal remains arranged not haphazardly, but seemingly with deliberate care. The pattern hinted at an intentional placement, a sort of containment, rather than debris from natural decay or collapse. The inspection showed that the bones did not match any existing species. The ribs showed an abnormal spacing that indicated the lungs would struggle to function. The jawbones displayed a double-hinged design, which produced an extreme mouth-opening ability, and the dental structure showed multiple variations in size and shape, which created a compatibility problem with any recognized mammal or reptile. The spine developed into an unusual spiral shape, which represents an anatomical characteristic that scientists have yet to find in any known animal species. The discovery created intense fear and disbelief among the team members. The team encountered an extraterrestrial presence that could not be categorized through conventional methods. Several researchers rejected the evidence, but others attempted to explain the discovery by linking it to mythological or cryptozoological entities. The bones indicated the existence of life forms that existed during prehistoric times, but they might represent a distinct, unknown entity. The researchers required complete scientific accuracy to collect the bone samples, which they processed using robotics to collect and portable DNA sequencers for analysis. The genetic tests revealed unexpected results because the genetic material showed no connection to any documented species in the international databases. The sequencing software could not establish any matches because it identified the DNA as unclassified and probably represented a new genetic variation. The geneticist presented his disturbing findings, which showed that the DNA sequence pattern originated from either an extinct species or an undocumented species. The results of the research disturbed all attendees because they revealed the possibility that the Ark contained creatures that did not belong to known terrestrial classifications. The ancient texts provided material that fueled the speculation. One Bible scholar on the team referenced Genesis 6:4, which mentions the Nephilim, beings who existed between human and animal forms through their mixed and corrupted nature. The findings received an uneasy cloud of suspicion because they presented uncertain results. The Ark served two purposes, which involved protecting all living beings and keeping dangerous or unnatural beings in quarantine. The evidence of containment became more convincing when researchers examined tunnel walls through close-up images, which showed claw marks that extended from the interior to the exterior. The frightening feature demonstrated that the sealed area functioned as a prison system, instead of a space designed for storing items. The team members moved from their scientific investigation to experience a deep feeling of worry. From mysterious heat to strange bones and cryptic DNA, the structure beneath Durupanar was unfolding piece by inscrutable piece, as if revealing a dark secret humanity was never meant to uncover. The sealed chamber and final warning. The team discovered organized inscriptions that they found etched into the walls after they entered the maze-like structure.
Our next guest says his newly found evidence can prove that Noah's Ark did in fact exist, turning this biblical mystery into a reality.
The translated phrases that they studied at first carried terrifying warnings which declared, "Bind the corrupted, seal them for the fire. Do not open until the day of judgment." The objects served to preserve, while the objects functioned as containment devices. The nearby carvings displayed the sealed areas, which matched the radar results with precise accuracy. The one large chamber matched the location that produced heat and radiation and showed rhythmic pressure changes. The huge passageway ended with a massive door, which construction included wooden layers and pitch and heavy metal bindings to create an entrance that builders intended to remain closed. The inner surface contained numerous deep grooves, which looked like claw marks because something had attempted to escape. The hinges became distorted because they had melted together through exposure to extreme temperatures, which lacked any known origin. The disturbing results showed that the sealed contents were designed for permanent containment because they would never achieve survival. A scholar referenced the Book of Genesis, particularly Genesis 7:16, suggesting the Ark may not have been just a refuge, but also a prison. The entire situation changed because of that particular idea. The seismic scan detected minimal biological activity, which displayed consistent patterns of life through its steady movements. The signal grew stronger whenever distant thunder rolled. The final frame showed a mass that moved behind the wall. The authorities ordered the closure of the excavation, which had begun. The authorities closed the site while they seized all information and established a communication ban, which resulted in one horrifying mystery. What exists within the area?
Get into the shape of a ship, and it is exactly 300 cubits long, which is the length given in the Book of Genesis in the Bible.
If the structure was truly ancient, then whatever remained inside had either endured far beyond natural limits or existed in a state not yet understood by modern science. The silence that followed the lockdown only deepened the tension, because it didn't feel like the end of a discovery. It felt like the interruption of something that had just begun to notice it was no longer alone. The exploration of Durupanar has revealed more than just a lost vessel. It has uncovered a sealed enigma that challenges history, science, and faith. From ancient construction to mysterious life signs and cryptic warnings, this haunting discovery forces us to reconsider humanity's past and what lies hidden beneath the surface. If this story captivated you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries.